This is Toby Preacher from Indie-Games.dev and welcome to another DevLog video. I'm gonna show you what I've done in the month June 2019. Before we get started, I want to recommend to you to hit the subscribe button if you want to see my future videos and not missing any of them. Hit the subscribe button right now. So in the beginning, you can see I've been working on a level 1 on the level assets for the living room, and I'm doing some stuff here. We have this little sideboard and we have a little blanket on it. I'm doing this, and also we have the lamp here. You can see the lamp I'm painting, and also in the background I painted a picture and zoomed in and tried to paint it in a higher resolution, and then zoomed out, and it was really amazing to see how it still looks good, and that was lots of fun. So after that, when I had finished my first room of the level, I decided that I should do a test run and export everything and see how it works in Unity, if the size is fitting, if everything is, if the pipeline I was thinking about is working so far. And so I sat down and exported everything from Krita, which worked very well. I'm pretty pleased with it. Krita has a script that exports every layer into a PNG file, and I use that for exporting all the separate objects, like the couch, like the wall, like the floor panels, and I threw all that stuff out into Unity and started to align it and to set it up there. And it was really cool to see how it comes together in the game engine, and how it feels really like a room. And it was lots of fun to walk around there with the player, and I really enjoyed that. And when I was doing that, I kind of recognized that I don't have any doors. I don't know why I didn't think about it when I was painting the assets, but I made the decision I have to do doors immediately, as in some kind of way that the player can walk through it, and that's what I'm doing next. And as you're watching me painting these doors, I want to talk about how it was for me to paint all that stuff, because painting is what I consider my my weakest part of my skill set. So doing some programming is a lot more easier for me, and really sitting down and taking much more time on each item and painting all that details was different in the beginning, and sometimes it was kind of frustrating, but then I had to calm myself down and say, okay, it's part of that. And after that, I really enjoyed it, because I got in a really good mood, and everything went smooth, and I really liked it. So I started painting the sleeping room, which is the next room in the level. And I was thinking about how can I minimize my work, so I took the basic shapes of the living room, like the floor panels, the wall, even the window and the curtains, and I changed the color of the curtains to a blue color, because that was the kind of color I wanted to go for the room. And then I started to paint the closet, and with the closet, the same thing. I tried to do work only once, so you can see me here on the video while I'm painting one side of the cupboard, one side of the cupboard, not cupboard, closet, one side of the closet door, and then I'm duplicating it, mirroring it over to the other side, adjusting the shadows, adjusting the tones, and that is a lot. It's a less work than redoing it all, and these are the kind of tricks I'm using to minimize my work I have to put in to each room and each graphic asset. Same thing with the mirror, by the way, of the closet. I also duplicated that and mirrored it over. I mirrored the mirror over to the other side and avoided doing things twice. And next up, you can see me how I'm designing the bed. And when I was designing the closet, I'm using guidelines and straight lines, and with the bed I wanted to try something different. I want to paint the outlines and everything free-handed, so you can see the lines are a bit wiggly and not so straight, but later on I straightened that thing out. Also I did some layers, some sketch layers. I did some rough sketching on it, then put the next layer on top, reduce the opacity of the layer below so I have my reference behind, and then I cleaned everything out and made it nice and looking good. And you can see here I'm also doing the blanket. I'm doing some white dots on the blanket, and I was choosing the same color for the blanket than for the curtain in order to make it a fitting look. And when I was designing the form of the curtain, the form of the blanket, I put the zombie character there in the bed and kind of painted around him and adjusted the size of the blanket so he can actually lie in the bed and sleep, and then I can animate him so he's standing up out of the bed. And that was the plan I was approaching here. And yeah, let's see what's up next. It is one of my favorites. I switched over and started to design the kitchen, and you can see here I'm starting out with the kitchenette. Here I'm using I'm using my grid and all I've learned to make those panels, those door panels of the kitchenette, and not only make them fit for the lower part of the kitchenette, but also design them in a way that I can reuse them for the upper part. And you can see here in a second that I'm just duplicating the whole part, and I'm putting it up there, adjusting the perspective, and boom, there is the upper part of the kitchenette without doing everything twice. So I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind, that you design things in a way that you can reuse them as often as possible and save a lot of time for your game. Last but not least, I want to talk about concept art. While I'm planning out the next levels and gathering ideas for it, I've tried to make some sketches, and this is what you can see here right now. I'm sketching a house. I was not sure at that point if this should be the house where the player lives in, if this should be how it looks like when you're outside. But I painted that house, and after that I wanted to make a quick rough block out of a village, how it would look like, where the house is located and where the player lives actually. And while I was doing this, I found out that I'm pretty bad at concept art. You can see here it's not looking very pretty, and that's a point where I have to improve and learn more about. I also tried to do a sketch for a city level, more of a big city. You can see it also here, and after that I decided to try something else. You know that I'm using these player assets. Actually, the sprites of the player is from an asset pack, and that's cool. But it also gives me some limitations according to movement and animation, because it's the asset pack is. The player actually is, these are not various parts, but it is animated from the painter. So you have a painting of each single step. And according to that, you cannot animate it in another way. You cannot create new movements. And so I decided to redo the player character. And I wanted to see where I will go with the design, and so I tried out some designs, and even there I found out that I don't know much about sketching and laying out comic characters, and this is a topic that I'm working on right now. I try to do little sketches every day in order to get better. But here you can see in the video that I'm searching for some reference and trying out different styles, and at the end of the video you will see that I will have 4 characters, all of them going in another direction. And while you're watching me painting these characters, I also want to talk about what's going to be up next. I will focus next month more on scripting and bug fixing and creating a skill system, a skill tree, and a purchasing system where you can unlock these skills. And this will be my main focus on next month. And I can't wait to show you that. So I say thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you watch the video till the end if you like, but most important, if you like that content and if you want to see more of my videos, then don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. It also helps you not to miss my videos. Turn on the bell and you will get a notification of my new videos. I cannot wait to see you next time. My name is Tobias Preacher and I see you soon.